Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. In this video, we're going to be doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19. and yeah, the stories are it's so wonderful. I'm so grateful that Krishna gave me the intelligence to do this so that I'm able to do one chapter a day just reading the translations only. It's nowhere close to being, I mean, I always just assumed that I had to read the commentaries also, but there's somebody who said it was just so amazing. The day my Bhagavad Gita project was ending, he said in a lecture of that morning itself that I was hearing that you can start. Today is a great day to start because it was Moni Amavasya and it apparently was a perfect day to start a new project. And you can start it today and you can read one chapter a day, and there are 340 chapters. So that means almost a year project, and you'll be done with this thing. And I mean, I don't know if he meant read only the translations, but I was like, I can't read the commentaries also. I was like, okay, I will do that, but I will read only the translations. And this is so amazing. This is so amazing. It's keeping me in the energy. Like it's wonderful. I don't have words to express how amazing Bhagwan Shri Krishna is. Okay, so let's call out to Bhagwan Shri Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dear Bhagwan Shri Krishna, please help us to attain bhakti for you, to spend time on you, and to relish you, and to attain bhakti rasa, so that we're not looking for material rasa. Okay. Hari Parshad Prabhu has just completely changed my life, because this is what his idea was, that all what human beings are always looking for is rasa, and if we don't find rasa in bhakti, we'll find rasa in material world. So that's why people fall down, is because they spend decades and decades trying to find bhakti rasa and chanting 16 rounds every day, and they don't find it, and then they'll fall down. Even Sachinanda Maharaj said that in his book Living Name. So I mean, he didn't use the word rasa though, but the rasa thing word explains it so beautifully, that yeah, we want rasa, we want juice, and we're always looking for it. So please help us find it in bhakti, so that we're not wasting our time. Okay, so let's read. The appearance of Shukdev Goswami, chapter 19. Text 1. Sri Suta Goswami said, while returning home, King Maharaj Parikshit felt that the act that he had committed against the faultless and powerful Brahmana was heinous and uncivilized. Consequently, he was distressed. 2. King Parikshit thought, due to my neglecting the injunctions of the Supreme Lord, I must certainly expect some difficulty to overcome me in the near future. I now desire without reservation that the calamity come now, for in this way I may be freed from the sinful reaction and not commit such an offense again. So he was feeling very bad for doing that, for putting a dead snake around the Rishi's neck. 3. I am uncivilized and sinful due to my neglect of Brahmanical culture, God consciousness, and cow protection. Therefore, I wish that my kingdom, strength, and riches burn up immediately by the fire of the Brahmana's wrath, so that in the future I may not be guided by such inauspicious attitudes. My goodness, such strong remorse. 4. When the king was thus repenting, he received news of his imminent death, which would be due to the bite of a snake bird, occasioned by the curse spoken by the sage's son. The king accepted this as good news, for it would be the cause of his indifference towards worldly things. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine you facing news as good news that you're going to die in 7 days? Wow. 5. Maharaj Parikshit sat down firmly on the banks of the Ganga to concentrate his mind in Krishna consciousness, rejecting all other practices of self-realization, because transcendental loving service to Krishna is the greatest achievement, superseding all other methods. 6. The river by which the king sat to fast carries the most auspicious water, which is mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord and tulsi leaves. Therefore, that water sanctifies the three worlds, inside and outside, and it even sanctifies Lord Shiva and other demigods. Consequently, everyone who is destined to die must take shelter of this river. 7. Thus the king, the worthy descendant of the Pandavas, decided once and for all, and sat on the Ganga bank to fast until death, and give himself up to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, who alone is able to award liberation. So freeing himself from all kinds of associations and attachments, he accepted the vows of a sage. Okay, so he decided to fast until death and give himself up to the lotus feet of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. Okay. So the river carries so consequently, yeah. So he went to the river, Ganga, is it, or I'm not sure which river. Ganga. He sat down on the banks of Ganga to concentrate in Krishna, and yeah. Okay. 8. At that time, all the great minds and thinkers, accompanied by the disciples, sages, and sages who could verily sanctify a place of pilgrimage just by their presence, arrived there on the plea of making a pilgrim's journey. So I don't know how these great sages knew, but Krishna Bhagwan must have told them go there, the Paramatma in their hearts, or however. 9, 10. From different parts of the universe, there arrived great sages like Atri, Chavana, Sharadvan, Arishtanemi, Bhrigu, Vashishta, Parashar, Vishwamitra, Angira, Parshuram, Uttaya, Indra, Pramada, Idhmavahu, Medhatithi, Devala, Arshtishena, Bhardwaj, Gautama, Pipalad, Maitreya, Aurva, Kavasha, Kumbhayoni, Dvaipayana, and the great personality Narad. There were also many other saintly demigods, kings, and special royal orders called the Arunadayas, a special rank of Rajarshis from different dynasties of sages. When they all assembled together to meet the Emperor Parikshit, he received them properly and bowed his head to the ground. 12. After all the rishis and others had seated themselves comfortably, the king, humbly standing before them with folded hands, told them of his decision to fast until death. Basically, a lot of people were there, and then King Maharaj Parikshit said, I'm going to fast until death. 13. The most fortunate king said, the fortunate king, indeed, we are the most grateful of all kings who are trained to get favors from great souls. Generally, you sages consider royalty as refuse to be rejected and left in distant place. 14. God, the controller of both of the transcendental and mundane worlds, has graciously overtaken me in the form of a Brahmana's curse. Due to my being too attached to family life, the Lord, in order to save me, has appeared before me in such a way that only out of fear I will detach myself from this world. 15. O Brahmanas, just accept me as completely surrendered soul, and let Mother Ganga, the representative of the Lord, also accept me in that way, for I have already taken the lotus feet of the Lord into my heart. Let the snake bird or whatever magical thing the Brahmana created bite me at once. I only desire that you continue singing the deeds of Lord Vishnu. 16. Again, offering obeisances unto all you Brahmanas, I pray that if I should take birth in this material world, I will have complete attachment to unlimited Bhagwan Shri Krishna, association with his devotees, and friendly relations with all living beings. So, complete attachment to Bhagwan Shri Krishna, association with his devotees, and friendly relations with all living beings. 17. In perfect self-control, Maharaj Parikshit sat down on a seat of straw with straw roots facing the east, placed on the southern bank of the Ganga, and he himself faced north. Just previously, he had given charge of his kingdom over to his son. So Maharaj Parikshit gave up the kingdom to his son and he left. 18. Thus King Maharaj Parikshit sat down to fast until death. All the demigods of the higher planets praised the king's actions and in pleasure continually scattered flowers over the earth and beat celestial drums. 19. All the great sages who were assembled there also praised the decision of Maharaj Parikshit, for they expressed their approval by saying, Very good. Naturally, the sages are inclined to do good to common men, for they have the qualitative powers of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, they were very much pleased to see Maharaj Parikshit, the devotee of the Lord, and they spoke as follows. 20. The sages said, O chief of all the saintly kings of Pandu's dynasty, who are strictly in line of Lord Shri Krishna, it is not at all astonishing that you give up your throne, which is decorated with the helmets of many kings, to achieve eternal association with God. 21. We shall all wait here until the foremost devotee of the Lord, Maharaj Parikshit, returns to the supreme planet, which is completely free from all mundane contamination and all kinds of lamentation. 22. All that was spoken by the great sages was very sweet to hear, full of meaning and appropriately presented as perfectly true. So after hearing them, Maharaj Parikshit, desiring to hear of the activities of Lord Shri Krishna, God congratulated the great sages. 23. The king said, O great sages, you have all very kindly assembled here, having come from all the parts of the universe. You are all as good as supreme knowledge personified, who resides in the planet above the three worlds, Satyalok. Um, Consequently, you are naturally inclined to do good to others, and for this you have no interest. Apart from this, you have no interest either in this life or the next. 24. O trustworthy Brahmanas, I now ask you about my immediate duty. Please, after proper deliberation, tell me of the unalloyed duty of everyone in all circumstances, specifically those who are just about to die. 25. At that moment there appeared the powerful son of Vyasdev, who travelled over the earth disinterested and satisfied with himself. He did not manifest any symptoms of belonging to any social order or status of life. This is Shukdev Goswami. He was surrounded with women and children, and he dressed as if others had neglected him. He was surrounded with women. Okay. 26. This son of Vyasdev was only 16 years old. His hands, legs, thighs, arms, shoulders, forehead, and other parts of his body were all delicately formed. His eyes were beautifully wide, and his nose and ears were highly raised. He had a very attractive face, and his neck was well formed and beautiful like a conch shell. 27. His collarbone was fleshy, his chest broad and thick, his navel deep, and his abdomen beautifully striped. His arms were long, curly hair was strewn over his beautiful face. He was naked, and the hue of his body reflected that of Lord Sri Krishna. 28. He was blackish and beautiful due to his youth. Because of the glamour of his body and his attractive smiles, he was pleasing to women. Although he tried to cover his natural glories, the great sages present there were all expert in the art of physiognomy, and so they honored him by rising from their seats. 29. Maharaj Parikshit, who was also known as Vishnu Rath, one who is always protected by Vishnu, bowed his head to receive the chief guest, Shukdev Goswami. At that time, all the ignorant women and boys ceased following Shukdev. Receiving respect from all ignorant women. Okay. Shukdev Goswami took his exalted seat. 30. Shukdev Goswami was then surrounded by saintly sages and demigods, just as the moon is surrounded by stars, planets, and heavenly bodies. His presence was gorgeous, and he was respected by all. 31. The sage Sri Shukdev Goswami sat perfectly pacified, intelligent, and ready to answer any question without hesitation. The great devotee Maharaj Parikshit approached him and offered his respects by bowing before him, and politely inquired with sweet words and folded hands. 32. The fortunate King Parikshit said, O Brahmana, by your mercy only you have sanctified us, making us like unto places of pilgrimage, all by your presence here as my guest. By your mercy, we who are but unworthy royalty become eligible to serve the devotee. 33. Just by remembering you, our houses become instantly sanctified. What to speak of seeing you, touching you, washing your holy feet, and offering you a seat in our home? So King Parikshit is glorifying Shukdev Goswami. 34. Just as the atheist cannot remain in the presence of God, and so also the invulnerable sins of men are immediately vanquished in your presence, O great saint, O great mystic. 35. Bhagwan Shri Krishna, who is very dear to the sons of King Pandu, has accepted me as one of those relatives just to please his great cousins and brothers. 36. Otherwise, without being inspired by Bhagwan Shri Krishna, how is it that you have voluntarily appeared here, though you are moving incognito to the common man and not visible to us who are on the verge of death? 37. You are the spiritual master of great saints and devotees. I am therefore begging you to show the way of perfection for all persons, especially for one who is about to die. 38. Please let me know what a man should hear, chant, remember, and worship, and what he should not do. Please explain all this to me. 39. O powerful Brahmana, it is said that you hardly stay in the houses of men long enough to milk a cow. 40. Sri Suta Goswami said, the king thus spoke and questioned the sage using sweet language. Then the great and powerful personality, the son of Vyasadeva, who knew the principles of religion, began his reply. Okay, so that's it for this video. We'll do chapter 20 in the next video. Wish you all a day filled with lots and lots and lots of Krishna Bhagwan's mercy. Radhe Radhe.